This is not the best lighting or the best anything, but I thought I would interrupt the video that this is going to be in just to say something. So here's what I don't understand, America. Why are we not making everybody involved more accountable for what's in our food? And by food, I don't mean just the food you buy at the grocery store, although that can have some issues too. But even our food you buy in restaurants and most particularly fast food. So, in the past year or so, we've had to rely more and more on some fast food in instances because, you know, I'm in a household of seniors, seasoned people. I'm in a household of seasoned people, self included. I'm kind of seasoned. And so at times it's just you either don't have time to cook, somebody has a blood sugar that's doing something, or oh my gosh, I don't feel well. What is it? Oh, I know I need to really eat something really fast. So you may not have something prepared at times, cooked in the kitchen. So, more than I care to admit, 2022 saw an increase, especially personally for me, of a lot of consumption of food outside of our household. For 2023, that has to change. And here's why. Yes, I'm going through the pause. Yes, I'm having all these symptoms. Yes, it totally sucks. But I am looking at the nutritional facts online each time now in the past few days that I've ordered something. And I am just blown away by the amount of sodium, in particular, in everything. A lot of it has high fat concentration. And you look at the saturated fats, the trans fats, all the fats. And a lot of it, the fat content is kind of high. But it's like if they make one area a little bit better, then another area gets totally blown out of proportion. So I think at one point in time, like in the late 80s, I was really kind of big on this too as a teenager. And in fact, I even won some kind of award from our local newspaper where I was living at the time because of a letter to the editor that I wrote as a teenager in high school. I think I was a junior when I wrote it and then a senior when I got the award the next year. But anyway, nutritional labels really have come up since then. At the time, I called that out. Now I'm kind of back again, like 30 some odd years later, going, you know what? This is not acceptable. Why do our sandwiches have over 1,000 milligrams of sodium? Why? Why do our canned soups have over 1,000 milligrams of sodium? Why do we have a bunch of sugar in peanut butter? Why? Our foods that are fast and quick and easy because people work and they have children and they have seniors that they're taking care of, and they have other lives. So, we don't have all day in the kitchen to literally make our own peanut butter from peanuts. And we don't have all day in the kitchen to, cook everything up all the time. And we're not all living on farms. We're not all in orchards. None of that stuff. Okay? Most of us, if we don't live in the city, then we live maybe in the suburbs. Naturally, there are people who are rural and live on farms. And God bless all the farmers, especially the organic ones that are trying to make a difference, not only in their own lives, but in the lives of everybody. I am not trying to knock a whole industry. I'm just trying to call out what I see that is impacting my own health and creating some problems for me. And I'm sure it's creating some problems for everybody else, whether they realize it or not. So I just ate this sandwich that I thought was relatively healthy. I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant. I didn't choose beef. I'm not really a pork eater. Um, I chose chicken. The chicken had, now if I took the mayo off, okay, fine, but it had mayo. You know, I don't like to eat just a dry sandwich, no condiment. So it had mayo on it. I believe the mayo was light mayo too. It wasn't even like regular mayo. Um, so it was chicken with tomatoes and not even hot house. They were like Roma, I think. Lettuce, bread. What part of this has all this sodium? Now, the chicken had a crispy coating on it. Maybe I need to scrape the coating off next time and see what that does. But once you cook the sodium in, it's in. So then I have to spend all day once I see this with hacks. How do I lower the sodium levels in my body to counteract what I just did? Well, and maybe this is what we all need to do. Don't eat restaurant food or fast food back to back all day. Maybe start out your mornings with some oatmeal and not the instant stuff in a packet because for some reason it's loaded with a lot of sodium. One packet of oatmeal in some instances is like 150 milligrams to 210 to 20 milligrams of sodium. One little packet in one serving for one person has that. Um, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. um, the main thing is this. So counteract it. Maybe have some steel cut oatmeal in the morning with nothing in it. You know, maybe if you must have it a little sweet, maybe just a dab of brown sugar or a dab of honey if you can find honey anymore, like the real honey. Um, you know, not this processed stuff that you see in the store a lot or whatever. Um, and then if you're going to eat the fast food, the restaurant food, the whatever, maybe do that around noon or lunchtime. And I say that so you're not going to bed with all that sodium and fat and sugar trapped in your body because you're going to need time to counteract that with a lot of water and foods that become water in your body, like vegetables, leafy greens, lettuce, something that allows you to get more fluid into your body, more water into your body than you have sodium. So you have time to urinate that on out because and it still is going to take some time, and this is something you still would want to do every day. Here's the thing: there is no way that I can eat fast food and restaurant food every single day. And at one point last year, it was every day. I cannot keep doing that. I won't make it. I want to make, you know, I'm like, Lord Jesus, yes, I'm soon to be 52. I would love to live at least another 50 years. Why not? I have a lot I want to do, a lot of art I want to create, a lot of stories I want to tell, a lot of people I want to help through that. And I can't do it with the way things are going now. I mean, right now while talking to you, my stomach hurts. But I was hungry and I was on a lunch break and I'm like, what am I going to eat? So I did the simple thing, used a food delivery service, ordered that, and had fries with it too. That sandwich, the sodium, that's not counting the fries I had. So that's a whole lot of sodium in one sitting. And, you know, I'm now understanding to some degree what could be triggering some of the symptoms of menopause I'm dealing with is diet. So I'm going to have to cut it. I'm going to have to cut it. I don't want to be diabetic. I don't want to be someone with extreme blood pressure. I don't want to be someone who has a lot of fluid in the body and to the point that you feel it in your lungs and your heart is struggling to pump and all of that. I don't want to do that. I'm already pleasantly plump. I don't want to be so plump that I look like I'm a blow up doll. or I don't know. I don't look like a blow up doll, bad example. And this has nothing to do with anybody. I'm not doing anything to anybody with a weight issue. Listen, I have had problems with my weight and perception of my body most of my life in a sense. And here's what I mean. When I was thin, I didn't know I was thin. I thought I was fat. When I got fat, I thought I was even fatter than what I was. And even now, I have issues with looking at clothing and knowing exactly what size I am because I always in my head think I weigh more than I actually do. So I always have to have help with that. And all bodies are beautiful, and it is very normal to have a thin body, to have a bigger body. Bodies come in all shapes, sizes, colors, everything. Respect. What I'm saying is, from a health perspective, for myself and for the phase of life that I'm going through right now, I have to make changes because perimenopause and menopause are hard enough. I don't need to make it worse on myself by not exercising and then coupling that with mostly a sedentary life, meaning a sedentary job, hobbies that are sedentary, all of those sorts of things. And then I compound all of that by eating these foods that are high in everything that's wrong for me. So I think that what I'm going to start doing, it's been a minute, I'm going to have to start cooking again and start to fall in love with cooking and see how I like that. And maybe I'll start shooting some of that because I'm trying to be here a while. It's like I saw this woman say on a video, or I think it was a commercial, regarding some cancer treatments. And I think she was an actual patient at one of the cancer centers. It might have been Mayo or Cancer Centers for America. I'm not sure. But that woman was like, I don't have time to die. I have things to do. I'm like, amen to you. So that's how I'm feeling right now. You know, I feel like I have things to do. I have a channel to run. I have a life to live. You know, I want to be able to see people again and have some fun and go on vacation again. If we can ever get rid of this itis, there's yet another layer, form, variant. That's the word I'm looking for. I saw today that there's yet another variant out there. I'm not even bothering to learn what the variant is called because, you know, at this point, I think we all have some mental fatigue around this thing. I'm personally like, can you just cure it already? Can we find the antidote? Can we, do what we need to do? Antidote is not the right word. What am I looking for? Can we find the cure? Can we find a way to cure it? Can we find a way to prevent it in the first place? Prevent the body from getting it. Maybe one of the ways is good nutrition. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is for me and my body, I cannot. Menopause and fast food, in my opinion, do not mix. So I'm making a pledge to myself and a challenge to anyone else who's like, oh, I'm having all these menopausal symptoms, to just look at what your intake is of food, of water, of beverages, of, all the things. Sleep. I also slept more today too. And I feel so much better. I added like 3 more hours onto my sleep than normal. Work like gangbusters. But I have trouble sleeping at night. So I may have to make some changes in order to adjust and realign things, my work-life balance, if you will, so that I get the sleep I need, so that I'm able to work my job. Because the way I've been going, it's been hard. It's been hard on me. It's been really, really hard. I have this thing so close up on my face. I just realized. You're seeing everything is Friday. For people who kind of listen to what I always have to say about my hair, the moisture's still kind of there. I've had it in Is my hair braided or twisted? I don't even remember. I've had it in twists. I had to feel to see what was going on. For like 4 days. So I'm gonna take it down and wash it, condition, maybe use oil on the ends to seal the moisture on the ends. So maybe my hair will start to grow even longer. My hair kind of grew a little bit last year. I thought it had stopped growing. Again, nutrition. Nutrition would probably help this too some. I've had some fallout, I'm sure, because of my hormone levels, but also I'm so anxious too. Anxiety was a real problem for me, really 2021 and 22. I woke up one night like this. So in my sleep, I was pulling my hair. I have to make some adjustments to my life so I don't feel as stressed out. That's a whole other video. But yeah, I really signed on here to talk about the nutrition piece and just look if there's a label, read the label, govern yourselves accordingly. If there's not a label on something and it's a famous restaurant, now you can go online, look up the specific name of the food item. Like you mention the name of the restaurant, so and whatever the actual menu item is called. And you can pull up all the nutritional information on it. The number of calories, the number of fat grams, everything, sodium, everything, protein. You can pull up all kinds of information, possible allergy interactions. I mean, it's all there. I don't care what nobody says. The internet is a beautiful thing because you can find out so much information that was not there when I was a kid growing up. You know, I'm just saying it like it is. For the younger generations who have had it most or maybe all of their lives, God bless you because you can use anything either for good or for evil. Use the internet for good and look up what you need to in order to help yourself thrive. That's what I'm all about on this channel, is thriving. It's what I've always been about. When my channel was Unleashing Alicia, I talked about self-confidence, self-esteem, all of that stuff, because that was a huge part of the work that I've done as just a person and trying to help others with that because I went through so much in dealing with it myself. Now, I kind of have gone more into the art part of myself to a degree, the art journaling / daily planner part. And I'm starting to kind of here and there go into the music part a little bit. But with all of it, I am still talking about self-confidence, self-esteem, self-efficacy. And all of that really is about self-mastery. If you look at, I forget, psychology I think calls it the self-awareness pyramid or something like that. There's levels to the self, and self is like an amalgamation that's ever changing. You know, your self is not, it's pliable. It's not just a static thing. We grow, we change, we evolve, we decline in some areas, we improve in other areas, etc. So really what we want to get to is self-mastery and having an excellent understanding not only of who we are. In my life, I say whose I am, because, you know, for me, I'm a child of the Most High, of whose we are and why we're here. You know, for me, I'm here to just give and to try to help and be a witness of all that's good in the world. Am I perfect? No. Do I do things I shouldn't? Yes. So, you know, I'm just trying to be helpful. As I go through this pause journey, I'm sharing more and more about it. And that's one of my missions this year. And I'm passionate about it, really, so that younger folk are not in the dark about what this is like. My mom talked to me quite a bit when she was going through it. And my grandmother sort of did. She was on the other side of it by the time I came along. But she told me enough information. And on my dad's side of the family, some of the women on his side have told me some things. So I've been very blessed to have, I guess, a tribe of women to give me some information before I actually got here. And before I even got to like when I thought, oh, could I be Perry? You know? So before I even got to that. But most women I know, most cisgender women I know are in the dark. And most of the cisgender men in their lives are in the dark too. And it's like, well, gee, my wife, my girlfriend, she's like this and she's going through that. And I don't know what's going to. Men, cisgender men, please learn about our bodies. I'm going to just say this and then I'll go. You owe it to yourself to learn about our bodies. Here's what I really appreciate regarding people that are of other genders and in the LGBTQ plus communities. Most of the people I know who are self-identifying as that, they know stuff that cisgender people just do not seem to know. I don't know what it is. Is it that there's a lot of tradition that is just clouding the mind and people are not open to finding out what they need to find out? And I'm generalizing about all of this. I don't know. But we all need to learn as much as we can about ourselves as human beings and about others who differ from us, so that when people are experiencing what they're experiencing, if we really want to be loving, nurturing, and empowering, we can assist, if it's nothing else but with emotional support. Saying, wow, I see you're going through a time, I empathize with you. I don't know what it's like. I'll just use myself as an example. I don't know what it's like to be a man, but I know about male parts. And I know that if a man says to me, yeah, I went to the doctor and my PSA numbers are high, I know what that usually means. So I can empathize. I don't have a prostate, but I can I can be like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. What can we do? Let's see, as you go through this, what therapies or what are they recommending that you do? How can we, what if it's cancer, what stage are you at? Let's work together to see how we can best help you. That's all we're asking for as women. If some people are like, right to life, right to choose. I'm right to thrive. That is actually what I am. I love all people. I personally would not, if I got pregnant somehow, I would be elated. And I would be like, whoa, this is truly a miracle because of my age. And I'd be wondering, well, how am I going to push this baby out? Father God, Lord, Mother Jesus, whoever, help me, okay? But I would be thrilled. I would be thrilled. I have so many friends who are now grandparents, and I'm thrilled for them because I'm like, you know what? You are literally what anthropology and archaeology says, and science period says, is a genetic success. Your genes are 2 generations deep. You've had children and you have grandchildren. Power to you, Look at that. I'm a scientific, I don't know, unsuccess, failure. I actually say the word failure. Learning experience. Listen, if you want to have children, you've got to take care of your mind, body, soul, spirit, finances, everything. It takes a lot, a whole lot of you to have have children and to raise them so that they thrive. We think a lot of times about mere survival. And for me personally, that's not enough for me. So if I'm just looking to, I'm rolling back around to why I turned this camera on. If I'm looking to eat because I'm hungry, it can't be the restaurants. I'm going to have to make a lot of stuff and cook a lot of stuff myself. And I'm going to have to really think about the source of where all this is coming from. Is it coming from a lab or is it coming from the ground? Is it coming from a lab or is it coming from a tree? And how does that, the source, affect what I'm going through in the way of how it impacts my hormones, how it impacts my blood pressure, how it in fact impacts my blood sugar, all of those things, my skin, my hair, my nails, my eyesight, my teeth. What is the impact that consuming certain things has on my body? And chemically speaking, on my brain, my mood, all the things that have been laid out before me that psychiatry is like, yeah, these are your issues. How does that impact everything? And these are the things that people, in particular of my community, or communities, because I'm more than one race and ethnicity, tend to not talk about. And we need to be talking. That's the whole problem. That's why we suffer more than we need to, and our self-care diminishes. So I'm just laying it all out there on the table today. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Peace and love. See you later. I'm like, where's my thumb? See you later. Bye.